students. Today, let us do another short story. This is the ninth story in the collection of short stories in our treasure trove textbook. The story's name is My Greatest Olympic Prize by Jesse Owens. I believe most of you who are sports buff would have heard of Jesse Owens, who claimed 4 gold medals in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. So this is an autobiographical account. So My Greatest Olympic Prize is a heart-wrenching experience of Jesse Owens, the American athlete who amazed the world by winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games held in Berlin in Germany. The piece of writing was originally published in October 1960 in the Reader's Digest. It tells about Jesse Owens' athletic achievement of earning 4 gold medals, besides dispelling Adolf Hitler's notion of Aryan superiority, according to which German athletes would perform better than other participants. And more than anything, Jesse Owens won the friendship of German athlete Louis Long, which he considered greater than all the medals he had won. So who is Adolf Hitler? He was the dictator of Germany. When these games were held, there was a fear that the Second World War would start. It was in this atmosphere that the Berlin Olympics started. So what is this? What was the belief about? What was the belief of Hitler? That the Aryan race to which they belonged was superior to all other races, and they thought they could rule the world. And who was Jesse Owens? Jesse Owens, the son of a sharecropper and grandson of a slave, achieved what no Olympian before him had accomplished. His stunning achievement of 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin has made him the best remembered athlete in Olympic history. What is a sharecropper? We know about shareholder. What is a sharecropper? A sharecropper is a tenant farmer, someone who works on a land that's rented from its owner. These farmers would share their crops in return for the use of the land. They didn't own the land. So Jesse Owens comes from that lineage. But he achieved such great fame and name for himself. Shall we start the story, children? I'm in page number 104. I'm reading the first paragraph. It was the summer of 1936. The Olympic Games were being held in Berlin. Because Hitler childishly insisted that his performers were members of the master race, nationalistic feelings were high at an all-time high. So what is the setting, children? Yes, we know there are 4 types of Olympics. That is the Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, Paralympics, and Special Olympics. So this is the Summer Olympics of 1936, which is held every 4 years. So where was this game being held, children? Olympics? It was held in Berlin. So who was leading the nation at that point in time? It was Hitler, the great dictator, who childishly insisted that his performers were members of the master race. Why is he called childishly? Because children don't listen to reason. In the same way, Hitler also didn't listen to reason, and he claimed that his people who belonged to the master race were the best. What does this master race mean? The people held to be racially preeminent and hence fitted to rule or enslave other people. So he thought that they were fit to rule the world, that his people were better than all other people in the world. Hence, what happened? Nationalistic feelings were at an all-time high. Everyone, they considered their nation as the best. They supported their nation. I hope you can see the picture of Jesse Owens there. Children, please remember, this is a first personal person narrative because it is autobiographical story by Jesse Owens. And I hope you can see the picture of Hitler there, the dictator of Germany. So the second para starts with I, because I is Jesse Owens himself. I wasn't too worried about all this. I had trained, sweated, and disciplined myself for 6 years with the games in mind. While I was going over on the boat, all I could think about was taking home 1 or 2 of those gold medals. I had my eye especially on the running broad jump. A year before, as a sophomore at Ohio State University, I had set the world's record at 26 feet 8 1 by 4 inches. Everyone kind of expected me to win that Olympic event hands down. Jesse Owens didn't bother about all this master race concept, all these things. Whatever Hitler wants to think, he didn't bother about all those things. What his main aim was to win medals, and for that, to accomplish this, what had he done? He had trained, sweated, and disciplined himself for how many years? For 6 years. He had trained continuously, sweated, means had trained for long hours, sweated, and disciplined himself, means he might have had a timetable or what time to practice, and he didn't deviate from that. So for 6 years with the games in mind, he has dedicated 6 years of his life for this games. While I was going over the boat, all I could think about was taking home 1 or 2 of those gold medals. So he was going by boat from America to Germany. The only thing in his mind, yes, he should win 1 or 2 gold medals. I had my eye especially on the running broad jump. So what was his main goal? Where to win the gold medal? Yes, it was the broad jump. What is broad jump now? Yes, it is long jump, what we call long jump now. You can see the picture of the long jump bit in the next slide. A year before, as a sophomore at the university, he had set the world's record. As a student itself, as a student, he had already set a record in the long jump by jumping 26 feet 8 1 by 4 inches. As a sophomore means a student in the second year of high school or in the university. So he has achieved some fame, name at such a young age, that too setting a world record in broad jump. Everyone kind of expected me to win that Olympic event hands down. Naturally, everyone thought that he would win the Olympics hands down. Hands down, win hands down means it's a phrase which means he will win easily without any trouble, because already he has set the world record. So what is will it be a problem for him to win the Olympic gold medal? No. So everyone thought like that. Children, I have finished the second paragraph. I will start with the third. I was in for a surprise. When the time came for the broad jump trials, I was startled to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaps. He turned out to be a German named Luz Long. I was told that Hitler had kept him under wraps, evidently hoping to win the jump with him. But see, in the previous paragraph, he is so confident that he will win. But what does he find out? But he was in for a surprise, because when he came to the trials for the qualifying rounds to go to the finals, he was startled. Startled means surprised to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaps. In the trials, in the practice only, that young boy that he saw, the tall boy is hitting 26 feet. That too in practice leaps. What will happen in the final? So that's what is surprising to Owens, and how come he has not heard of him? That is bugging him. He turned out to be a German named Luz Long. So he found out that it was Luz Long. I was told, because Owens had never heard of him. Then he came to know that Hitler had kept him under wraps. Underline, kept him under wraps means it's an idiom where you keep something hidden, concealed. So what had Hitler done? Yes, he wanted to surprise the world. He had kept the achievements of Luz Long hidden, so that on the final day, when the long jump final would happen, broad jump final would happen, he could beat Owens and surprise the world. So that's what that was the intention of Hitler, to surprise the world. I was told that Hitler had kept him under wraps, evidently hoping to win the jump with him. Along with Luz Long, he wanted to win, get name for his country. I'm in the next paragraph, children. I guess that if Long won, it would add some new support to the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. After all, I'm a Negro, a little hot under the collar about Hitler's ways. I determined to go out there and really show the Führer and his master race who was superior and who wasn't. So now, what did Owens think now? If Luzlon really happened to win, what would it do? It would add more power to the Nazis' Aryan superiority race. I hope you are noting the pronunciation of Nazi. Children, though the spelling is Nazi, the pronunciation is Nazis, just like pizza. Though the spelling is Pizza, it is pronounced as pizza. In the same way, this is Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. What is this theory? That the Germans belong to the Aryan race. They were superior to all other races. Which race are we talking of? Where people are distinguished based on their skin color, like the black race, brown race, white race, Mongoloid race, all these things. So after all, I'm a Negro. Who is a Negro now? A Negro is a member of a race of humankind native to Africa and classified according to physical features. So he is telling that he is a Negro. A little hot under the collar about Hitler's ways, I determined to go out there and really show the Führer. Führer means the title given to Hitler, means leader, and his master race, who was superior and who wasn't. Now, Owens was really angry with all such nonsense, that how can one race be called as superior to other based on color or some special features. So he was really annoyed, angry with all this, and he determined, instead of speaking, he wanted to show who was superior by his actions, by winning a gold medal, and really show Hitler and the people, the master, who considered themselves as master race, who was superior and who wasn't. So action speaks louder than words. This is what he wants to prove. According to Owens, what is more important? A person should be recognized by his achievements and not by their skin color. A person should be considered superior by his activity, action, achievement, not because they belong to some race. I hope you have seen the broad jump pit and the picture of Louis Long. Now let us go to the next paragraph. An angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes, as any coach will tell you. I was no exception. On the first of my 3 qualifying jumps, I leaped from several inches beyond the takeoff board for a foul. On the second jump, I fouled even worse. Did I come 3,000 miles for this? I thought bitterly. To foul out of the trials and make a fool of myself. So there's a saying among the coaches. They tell their athletes that they should never be angry, because angry athletes are prone to make mistakes. This is what the coaches tell their athletes. And I was no exception. Even he also belonged, included. He is also one among them who made mistakes when he was angry. He was no exception. That statement applies to him also. That is what Jesse Owens is telling. On the first of my 3 qualifying jumps, so before he goes to the finals, he has to qualify in the trials. Each athlete is given 3 chances to qualify for the finals. And so before, what happened now? I leaped from 7 on his first qualifying jump. What happened? He made a foul. What is a foul here? In cricket, I know you would have heard of a no ball. When a bowler crosses the crease and bowls, it is considered as a no ball. In the same way, if a long jumper crosses the takeoff board, that jump will be considered as null and void. So what happened? So he took now he has to take his second attempt. On the second jump, I fouled even worse. To his nightmare, he fouled even in the second jump. Now there is only one jump remaining for him. What will happen to the world record holder? A world record holder fouling twice. That is what is bothering him. So what does he talk to himself? Did I come 3,000, think to himself, did I come 3,000 miles for this? I thought bitterly. Now he's really wondering, what is the use of coming all this long distance, 3,000 miles, just to foul? What is making him to commit a foul here? Yes, that thought of the master race, about Hitler's Aryan superiority race, all he's preoccupied with all these thoughts, and he's also angry. He wants to prove himself in this. Uh, uh, while thinking about all this, he has committed mistakes. I thought bitterly, he thought very angrily about all this. Why should he come all this long distance and make a fool of himself? Now he'll be considered a fool, record holder. What will be the next day's breaking news, or that day's breaking news, or the next day's headlines? Record holder, out of world record holder, out of the Olympics, and make a fool of himself. That is what is bugging him now. Let us find out what happens next. Walking a few yards from the pit, I kicked disgustedly at the dirt. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned to look into the friendly blue eyes of the tall German broad jumper. He had easily qualified for the finals on his first attempt. He offered me a firm handshake. Now he is really dejected, annoyed with himself. How could he commit such a blunder by committing two fouls? And there is pressure on him, the world record holder. Now he has to qualify in the last attempt. So he walked a few yards away from the pit and he was kicking the dirt disgustedly. At that moment, what happened? He felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned, and what did he find? He turned to look into the friendly blue eyes of a tall German broad jumper. So he saw a man who had friendly blue eyes, and he was a tall, the same tall German broad jumper. He had easily qualified for the finals on his first attempt. See, first attempt, so no pressure on him now. He offered me a firm handshake. Jesse Owens, I'm Luz Long. I don't think we have met. He spoke English well, though with a German twist to it. So he introduced himself, telling that they have never met, but he knows who he is, and he is speaking a German speaking in English, but with a little bit of German accent. One could make out that he is not a native speaker of English. Glad to meet you, I said. Then, trying to hide my nervousness, I added, how are you? See, when somebody is talking to you, introduce themselves, so you also have to be polite. You have to return you have to make a conversation, reply to them. So he also replies very politely, glad to meet you. Then he is filled with nervousness, but he's trying to hide it. How are you? I think it makes him to ask this question. I am fine. The question is, how are you? Now, he turns the table. Luz Long turns the table on. Jesse Owens tells him, see, I am okay, but what about you? What do you mean? I asked. Now, Jesse Owens is affronted. Okay, what do you mean? Something must be eating you, he said. Proud the way foreigners are when they have mastered a bit of American slang. You should be able to qualify with your eyes closed. Please underline the word eating. Something must be eating you, he said. Eating doesn't mean literally that you are having your lunch, dinner, or whatever. Eating here means it's a slang, which means bothering. Something must be bothering you, he said. Proud the way foreigners are when they have mastered a bit of American slang. Jesse Owens could make out that Luz Long was really proud of the way he was talking English, that too, employing American slang. Usually foreigners, when they have mastered a foreign language, when they can express it, they feel very proud. In the same way here, Jesse Owens could sense that Luz Long was proud using the word eating. And what else does he tell? You should be able to qualify with your eyes closed. He tells he has so much of confidence in Jesse Owens. He tells, what is happening? You should be able to qualify with your eyes closed because you are the world record holder. Believe me, I know it, I told him, and it felt good to say that to someone. Please notice that sentence. Believe me, I know it. Here, Jesse Owens is not boasting about himself. He knows that he can do it. He knows that he can do it. I told him. And it felt good to say that to some. And a huge burden is lifted from his shoulders now. He wanted to lighten his heart. So something, okay, now expressing it now makes him happy now. Shall we go to the next paragraph, children? I hope you have seen the broad jump picture. I hope you see the takeoff board where Jesse Owens overstepped. This is not what he should have done. Let us find out what happens in the next paragraph. For the next few minutes, we talked together. I didn't tell Long what was eating me, but he seemed to understand my anger, and he took pains to reassure me. Although he had been schooled in the Nazi youth movement, he didn't believe in the Aryan supremacy business any more than I did. So what happened next? Now they have introduced themselves, they know each other, so they talk together, but Jesse Owens was careful not to mention what was really eating him. Eating him means bothering him. But somehow, Luz Long seemed to understand Jesse Owens' anger, and he took great pains to reassure Jesse Owens. He's trying to understand what Jesse Owens is undergoing and tries to help him out. Although he had been schooled in the Nazi youth movement, he didn't believe in the Aryan supremacy business any more than I did. So what is this Nazi youth movement? Nazi is actually a political party. It is actually the members of the National Socialist German Workers' Party. That is the Nazi party, and he belonged to the Nazi youth movement. It is the party for young members of that party. The members should have been between the age of 14 to 18. They were indoctrinated that the Aryans were the most Aryans were superior to all other races, and their motto was blood and honor. So though this fellow, the tall German, who had been schooled, educated in the Nazi youth movement, but still he didn't believe in all that Aryan supremacy business. Even Jesse Owens also didn't believe in such nonsense. Neither Owens nor Luz Long believed in this Aryan supremacy business. We laughed over the fact that he really looked the part, though. So, though he didn't believe, but he seemed, actually the look, it was like as if he believed in all those things. An inch taller than I, he had a lean, muscular frame, clear blue eyes, blonde hair, and a strikingly handsome, chiseled face. Finally, seeing that I had calmed down somewhat, he pointed to the takeoff board. So, we laughed over the fact that he really looked the part. They're teasing each other, though here Luz Long doesn't believe in all such things, supremacy race, but still, because he looked as if he believed, they had a laugh over that matter. And here is a description. How is Luz Long? He was an inch taller than Jesse Owens. He was lean. Lean means not fat nor plump. He is thin, muscular frame, a strong frame body, clear blue eyes, blonde hair. Blonde hair, we all have black hair, right? And we have black eyes, whereas he has blue eyes. Blonde hair, brownish golden hair, golden brownish hair, and a strikingly handsome chiseled face. He has a very well-defined face. Finally saying that I had calmed down somewhat, he pointed to the takeoff board. Finally, all this banter helps Jesse Owens. Now his tension is reduced, and even Luz Long can also make out that Jesse Owens has calmed down. So he pointed to the takeoff board. Now he wants to tell something to Owens. Let us see what happens in the next class. Children, today's task is you'll go back to the lesson once again, underline the difficult words, write the meanings for master race, nationalistic feelings, what does Nazis mean, and you'll also learn the pronunciation, phrases like to win hands down, idiomatic expressions like kept him under wraps, what made Jesse Owens angry, then who was Luz Long, describe him, and how did he, what made, okay, just what made Jesse Owens angry, we have covered that. So we'll find out what the Luz Long tells Jesse Owens pointing to the takeoff board. See you in the next class.